Welcome to our new episode of Working with Agents. In this episode, I want to take you backstage. How do we design our newsletter? Of course, we leverage AI. We want high quality information, but we want to speed up the process of creating the right formats and save time so we can give you every week on Monday a high quality newsletter. Let's look at how I used to do it and how we've changed our processes in time. We used to rely heavily on Manus. We've designed a long prompt here that we can have a look at. This is our prompt that would look for articles, offer to the user, usually me, 7 articles that we find can be interested, select 3 out of 7, extract some quotes, prepare the format so that we can post them inside the newsletter, and we can cross-post them into different social media. That work pretty well for several weeks, and Manus has been very helpful into providing this information. But things starting to stop working. For example, in week 35, Manus is giving us article the same way as we usually do, and preparing the articles for us. Problem is, the links given by Manus are wrong. So this link is wrong. It goes back to the homepage. This one is 404. Actually, the name and the numbers are not what they should be. The news seems to be accurate, coming from different sources, but again, 404. So we cannot use that. We cannot rely on the fact that this one is correct. So not 100% failure, but this is creating a lot of extra work for us and make us doubt everything that is in there. We decided to look for another agent, and we decided to switch to AnyGen, and AnyGen is giving good results. These articles exist, so whenever there's a link here in AnyGen, we can click on it. We get to a correct article that has the correct information. And when we look down and double check it, and we do need to double check it, we found accurate information. The formatting is the same. This is what we want. This is the one that we're going to copy into our newsletter. The good thing also is this is HTML. So when we use it directly into our marketing automation tool, we don't have to copy and paste the links. That saves us a few seconds here and there. And then we want to publish the same news into our social media, creating the hashtag. This is working the same way as Manus, but we have built, I would say, a distrust for Manus, and we have built a high level of trust for AnyGen. Now every week we're using AnyGen to generate. It used to work with one agent, Manus. It doesn't work. Now we have to switch to another one. The key question, and I don't really have the answer, I only can guess, is why did it stop working with Manus, right? It worked for weeks and months, and one day we wake up and the agent is not performing the way that it should be. My guess is that as more features are added into this autonomous agent, it's losing some of its abilities, and its behavior is changing because, and I can see it from the Manus newsletter, they keep adding new feature and they keep giving, I would say, too many functions and making it too powerful. This is one part of the work we do with our agents. Another part of work we used to give to the agent was to provide a list of training that we have at the beginning of our newsletter. It was part of our front in the past, and Manus was able to perform it really well, finding the accurate dates, finding the registration link, putting it here in a format that made it easy for us to put it there. And then it started to work not as good. For example, here, the registration link is wrong. It's a global registration. It's not the registration for this training, this training, this training. That used to work, and that stopped working. And we had occurrences also where the date was wrong. For some reason, it was one day in the past or one day in the future. Again, we lost trust into the AI. We find prompt, it was giving us good results, and it stopped giving us good results. For this particular case, we decided to switch from a completely autonomous agent towards a workflow that we're going to code. We decided to migrate into N8N. N8N is a workflow engine where we're going to define the steps. The first step is to get the information for our website, but this one is fixed. When we ask an autonomous agent to do it, like Manus, we don't have to give it exactly what we want to do. Here we have to say, you go to this URL, this is how you filter the events. We want only events in the future. And then you have to take the events in English and the events in Chinese. You have to merge them together. You have to sort them from the next one to the one that is further into the future. And then finally, we use AI only to summarize things and to identify, based on the overall training description, the category of this training and put the right information in the right format. And this is going to be typical of AI automation in companies. We can start with an AI agent, very open, very flexible, very generic. But at some point, we have to crystallize a workflow, probably the one that the agent has successfully been running, and we have to turn it into a fixed workflow that processes the information accurately from beginning to the end, and we are not submitted to the large variety and large variability of an autonomous AI agent. And this is going to be a very important part to bring down the creativity once we understand what we want to do. AI agents are wonderful to discover a workflow, to make their own to-do list, figure out where the information goes, find it on the internet, aggregate. But for repeatability and recurring tasks, for example, this one runs every week, we need to make it a workflow, and we need to decide what are the steps and make sure they happen in a repetitive and productive way. And something interesting also that you can see in this workflow, the AI piece of the workflow is roughly 15 to 20%. A lot of the AI workflow that we give to an agent, we're actually wasting a lot of computing power because the AI is only required for one part, for one fraction of the workflow, where we have to process unstructured data. The rest is structured data. When I get my list of training, the date is in a date format. The URL is in URL. They are in different columns stored on the website, and we want all of this to be coded in a structured data. This is also a cost issue, because that few calls that we're going to make to the AI are only a fraction of the cost of what Manus used to cost us to run the entire thing. Hope this was useful, and that explains a little better what's happening backstage to generating our newsletter. If you want to automate your newsletter, send us an email, go to our website and contact us. We'll be extremely happy to share more about our prompts and how we do it. And then we also can implement this workflow for you to automate your newsletter generation. You can also subscribe to this channel for more use cases, more comparison between AI agents and different types of AI and how they apply to real life business cases where we can gain productivity and save time thanks to AI.